When you were evicted, you looked relieved.
Oh, did I really look relieved? Yes. I think I was the only house guest that actually came out and smiled. I was like, awesome.
You almost seem like, I'm done.
I mean, I think I got to the point where I was done. It was a very, very interesting experience. It was a very stressful experience, but I'm glad that I did it. And who knows, I was relieved.
Let me ask, Dan or Memphis, and were you surprised by the vote tonight?
Absolutely not. I've been definitely pulling for Dan and Memphis to be final two since I left the house. Because I really think they're great guys, and Brian said it best. They never, in the course of the game, personally attacked anybody. They sucked it up. They played the game. Yeah, they may have done the lying, but it was okay because they were playing the game, and they won. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm happy that Dan won the $500,000.
And so you would have voted for him, obviously?
Yes, because I definitely would have had my vote based on gameplay, and I think Dan played an amazing strategic game, and he won the competitions he needed to win in order to get to where he's right now.
You avoided a lot of the drama, like the Keisha April, the Libra Keisha, the April Keisha. How did you avoid a lot of the drama?
I counted to 10 a lot. Is that weird? No. I just, there's a way that you want to portray yourself, and, yelling and screaming for me is not something, because if you're yelling and screaming at somebody, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to listen to you. But if you can pull them aside and have an adult conversation with them, there's much more of an opportunity to kind of resolve matters and maybe come out as friends as opposed to still bad talking about each other.
Now, I thought you're one of those very intelligent people who, I don't know if you played the smartest game.
I did not. Absolutely, I did not. I look back and I'm like, oh, I wish I...
You see, I tried to say that nicely.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Basically, what you're saying is that you sucked.
No, you're a very smart woman, but I don't think you made strategic choices.
I did not make strategic choices. It came down to the fact that I was interested more in having fun and coming up with different games and just hanging out in the backyard.
The women thought you were too much of a guy's woman, too, that you really sort of didn't kind of associate with the women as much at first, I think. But maybe that's just my own observation. But
I absolutely agree, and that probably would have been something that I would change. There's 2 things that I could change if I got back. If Brian had still gotten evicted, well, then I probably should have, sucked it up a little bit and tried to at least relate to the girls. But
because you made it clear, like, okay, you're probably targeting me, and I'm going to not be too friendly and cool with you, and you kind of hung out with the guys at that point.
Well, no, I mean, I hung out with the guys for most of the, since day one, so it wasn't like I changed anything that happened. Unfortunately for me, the guys weren't winning the competitions. Dan's throwing competitions, Memphis isn't winning, so the people in power were the people that I needed to have in power in order for me to stay.
Now, who would think brilliant strategy would be, don't win anything?
Well, you know what, though? It's not that bad of a strategy. It was something that I was kind of doing up to the point where I had to play in the power veto competition to get myself off the block. Well, obviously, it might be a smart idea to win it, just to see if I can get myself off the block. But Dan did keep himself off the radar for a very long time because it really seemed like the HOH had a target on their back the next week if they didn't kind of go along with the mob mentality that was in the house.
What would you have done differently had you had the chance to do it over again?
I probably would have tried harder to keep Brian in the house, and I probably definitely would have been more sociable with everybody in the house and just, not really staying out on the couch the whole time, maybe.
What I loved about your bio is it just screamed fun. I mean, the drinking contest and things like that. It just seemed like, is this girl too fun to take this too seriously? Is she going to be... I don't see you being mean enough to backstab people.
No, I definitely am. If I had the opportunity, I would have had no problem with it. Unfortunately, Angie didn't win an HOH or power of veto. I had no power when I was in the house, and I got evicted before I really could, make my moves in the game. So, oh well.
So that was my theory that you were too nice.
Right. I just portrayed myself as being too nice, I guess. It was only the 3rd week. A lot of people have asked me would you have had an outburst if you stayed in the house longer? I can't say for sure that I wouldn't have because you're in this environment. It's very stressful. Being in 3 weeks, it was bad. But
how could people not have an outburst, frankly?
I know. And there's points where you just have reached your end and then you have it. I just hope that I would have maybe had the outburst with a little class, I guess, maybe.
Who would you have gotten sick of?
Who didn't I get? No, I'm just kidding. That's such a bad thing to say. Who had I gotten sick of?
I mean, between us, just really between us and 10 million people who will watch this.
Right, exactly.
I just met Jesse, and I got tired of him after about 3 minutes.
Right. Everybody in the house, this is my PC answer, obviously. No, I mean, everybody in the house had their own character.
Angie, give me the real answer.
Jerry. Only because he just had these random segues that I was just like, what are you talking about?
Also, I don't know if TV portrayed him exactly, but he did bring up the military just a little much.
Oh, I was just, yeah, he did. Definitely.
Do you want pizza, Jerry? Well, when I was in the Marines, I mean, come on. I mean, at times like you're out of the Marines now. Get over it.
Right, exactly. 4 years. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Would you do the show again if they asked?
I don't know. It would definitely be something that I would have to take into serious consideration. If the cast was different than this one, probably yes. If not, probably no.
Do you see friends being made here for life besides Brian? I mean, Brian obviously you're close with.
Right, I'm very close with Brian and Steve, and I think that those would be the two guys that I definitely stay tight with, keep in touch with, probably Dan and Memphis. I don't know for sure. I haven't seen them in like a month and a half, so.
Well, now they have a lot of money, they can take you out.
Absolutely, we're all going to Vegas.
Very nice meeting you.
Thank you, nice to meet you too.
Thank you.